love this thing. What is up, guys? Dakota here, and welcome back to the Driven Mad channel. So in today's video, we're just going to be talking about some of the things as to why I love the Wrangler 392. And so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. And the first thing is, I mean, it almost goes without saying, is the engine itself. I know it's kind of a cop-out, but it's just, there's a lot of different reasons as to why it's one of the things that I love about it. Because the engine itself isn't necessary. Like, there's no part of, you know, a V6 Wrangler off-roading where you're like, you know, rock crawling, where it's like, man, I wish I had an extra 200 horsepower to really get me up and over that obstacle in low range, right? But it's just when you're on the road and you need to pass somebody, and all you have to do is just I mean, what? That's ridiculous. And God, it sounds so good. Just being able to do that. I mean, when you're merging onto the highway and also just cruising on the highway, because it has so much extra torque down low when you're cruising on the highway, it's not constantly hunting for gears. You know, when you set the cruise control, it will just kind of hold it there, and when you start going up an incline, it's not like it's dropping down 2 to 3 gears to figure out where it needs to be. It just keeps on staying in 8th gear, and that low end torque just keeps on pulling. So it's nice to have, as well as also having the insane sound and power to just kind of blow by most cars at a stoplight. It's hilarious. The next thing that I love about it is that it has this awesome exhaust button down here. Now, it's not just awesome for what you might think of just making it louder. It's also cool because if you leave it on, like here, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this, but, so I'll turn it on. So like it drones, like I can hear it. So when you're cruising on the highway, it's nice to be able to just hit that button and it shuts up completely. Like you can't hear it at all. And if some of you guys are familiar with my channel, you know that I had a Camaro 1LE and the C8. Those cars, when you put them in sport mode or whatever, it's not a huge change. This is a dramatic change because it's completely silent. You press the button and it just gets way louder on the inside and on the outside. And I love that you can have it be loud and aggressive when you want, but then shut it up completely, and it's just a normal Wrangler in here. It's super quiet. And one of the other things that is kind of just mainly for me, because you know, these are things that I love about the 392, the steering wheel. I love the shape of it. I love the design. It's a lot thicker than the normal Wrangler steering wheel, which I personally like. I know there are some people that don't like a really thick steering wheel, but I personally prefer it. It just feels super high quality when you're inside and when you're using it. It just gives you nice grip, and it looks awesome because it's kind of tapered in some areas. I just think it looks really cool, and it's one of the things that I like about it because it's something that you use and touch all the time. I mean, you're constantly using this thing, so it's nice. Enjoy the thing that you are constantly using, and I just love the design of it. I love the stitching. I love the quality of the leather that they use. It's just, again, something that every time I get in here, I notice it immediately, and it always stands out in my head. Now, one of the next things that actually happens to be attached to the steering wheel is the paddles. Now, it's not actually the paddles themselves that I like so much. It's having the ability to just keep your hands on the wheel and then use them, mainly for, like, if you're driving off-road at higher speed, you know, in a wide open area, sandy, rocky area. It's nice to be able to just keep it right here and just choose your gear, keep it in a gear that you want instead of having to put it into manual mode and then kind of fumble with it down here. It's just nice to have. It's just, it's cool that they even put it on a Jeep, because you don't need it. Like, it wasn't necessary, just like the rest of this Jeep, but it's cool that they added those touches, and I just like that. And now the next thing that I want to talk about is one of the things that surprised me the most. Obviously, this vehicle being a longer wheelbase, a regular 4-door would ride better than my 2-door, but the way this particular vehicle rides is fantastic. Compared to a normal 4-door, it just rides so smooth. And so on long road trips, you know, when you're doing a 4-hour drive, a 5-hour drive, a 10-hour drive, it is just so comfortable to sit in and be in, because it just floats over all the little bumps. They did a fantastic job with the tuning. Off-road, it's also way smoother than my 2-door. But again, I've driven a 4-door Wrangler on road, and this is smoother than that. It irons out a lot of the imperfections, and it's not what I would call necessarily like wallowy, but it's soft, and it kind of glides over things a bit more than a regular four-door, which again, for me, when you're on a road trip combined with this engine, it's just very relaxing to drive. You just kind of sit back, not really doing a whole lot, and it just pulls along. It's really relaxing, honestly, as opposed to saying, you know, the two-door gets affected a little bit more by everything, and also mine was a manual, so you got to actually do some more stuff. So this is just a lot more soothing to drive. But again, that's one of the things that I love about it, is that on those long drives, you're not working to do anything. You just get to enjoy, and you're along for the ride, and I love that. And now, one of the other smaller things that I love about the Wrangler 392. Now, it got a lot of criticism for not necessarily being super hardcore different than a regular Wrangler in terms of exterior design and everything, but I do like the bronze accents. I think it just looks really cool. I think it goes with a lot more colors, quite frankly, than the red does on the regular Rubicons, but it looks cool. I love the hood, and I love the badging, the 392 badging on the hood. That just looks awesome. It is a little understated, but I love just the subtleties of the bronze. It just looks really good. So anyways, guys, that's kind of the main things that I love about this thing. I didn't want to point out stuff that's necessarily just specific to a four-door Wrangler, because obviously I do enjoy having the extra space and having a lot more space in the back to put things, but that's something you can get in a normal four-door. I kind of wanted to focus a bit more on stuff specific to the 392. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found some of these things insightful if maybe you're looking to get one. I also wanted to break up the Bronco content. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.